journey is going to happen. So let us begin with the first slide or first understanding. The first thing that we are going to learn today is learning styles based on the or the VARK classification as it is classically known. What does the V in this VARK stand for? V stands for visual. Now you all must have learned, and let me revise it for you. Visual learners are those who learn through pictures, diagrams, and illustrations. Then oral or auditory learners. These children learn through are good at listening. Sometimes when you are teaching, you find that you are teaching and you tell the children, pay attention to me, look at me, but the child is scribbling something. And if you ask a question, the child is able to answer it. So that kind of learner is a listening learner, who oral learner or auditory learner who learns well by listening to the sounds. So what kind of teaching methodology is good for him? Lectures, recordings are good for him. Then what is the third learning style? It is read and write style. It is these children learn well when they get something to read, reading material. They themselves will create their own notes. You will find them, even if you give them notes, they will say, no ma'am, I let me create my own notes. So those are the learners which are classified as read and write learners. And the fourth learning style is called as the kinesthetic learning style. These children like to learn through their experience, observation, activity, and experimentation. So these are the ones, when you are conducting an activity in the class, these are the ones who will run and come and they will say, okay ma'am, I want to do the activity, or sir, I want to do the activity. And uh, these are the ones who learn more through experience. You give them hands-on activity and they will learn more. So this is the traditional style or traditional classification of learners. And earlier the pedagogies were also based on the learning styles, this classification of learning styles. Now what has happened is, with the NEP coming into picture, there are the classification of learning styles has been expanded. These learning sessions are these learning styles are included, but these are expanded. And what are the new learning styles that are included? That we will see through a small video. So let me play the video for you. Okay. Student learning styles. This video will explore 7 different learning styles with a credit to Harvard Gardner for his work. A brief definition of learning styles would be the preferred method of learning and processing information for students. Before investigating each style, let us answer the question, why are student learning styles so important? As teachers, it is important to know your students, especially their strength. Teachers would want to know what is the best way to get an individual student to process and absorb information. Teachers can then use the information to help their students succeed academically. The first learning style that we begin with is interpersonal. Interpersonal learners benefit from interactions with other students. These learners will play off the ideas of others. They so develop small study groups and peer-to-peer tutoring sessions. To accommodate these learners, treat your classroom as a community of learners and avoid tedious lectures. Present opportunities for these students to work and learn from groups of others. Interpersonal learners have excellent communication skills, and these students will one day pursue careers in teaching, counseling, and in sales. All right. So next up are intrapersonal learners. Intrapersonal learners are also called as solitary learners because they prefer a learning environment without interaction. As a teacher, allow their students to set goals and tasks for themselves, as well as letting them choose their own topics. These students will benefit from several different types of learning models: blended learning, personalized learning, a flipped classroom model, and independent learning models. Try and find ways to allow these students to study quietly and free from distractions. These students often grow up to work in positions where they spend much of their time in a cubicle. Interpersonal learners pursue careers in data analysis and research. Next is kinesthetic learners. Kinesthetic learners are also called physical learners because they enjoy movement and exercise as they learn. As a teacher, try and give these students the opportunity to walk around and stretch and provide class activities. Now, some courses are better designed to allow teachers to provide kinesthetic activities in the classroom. When it comes to instruction, incorporate hands-on learning activities, use manipulatives and different projects. These are the students who you will find playing a number of different sports and they are very physically active. These students would pursue career in sports and in construction. The next learning style is verbal. The verbal learning style is also known as the linguistic learning style. Verbal learners make most out of both the written and verbal world. Verbal learners they look to facilitate roundtable discussions, classroom debates, and more sharing of ideas. These students are natural born speakers and will excel when given a chance to verbally express themselves. Therefore, give these students the opportunity to present in front of their peers. These students are often the ones that will argue a teacher at any chance they get. Verbal style learners often find careers in politics, writing, and in speaking. Continuing forward, the next one is visual learners. From my experience in the classroom and through years of conducting like surveys and all we conduct, I can say that visual learning style is one of the most popular learning styles. The visual learners prefer to learn through flowcharts, diagrams, mind maps, and many infographics. I can say this because I myself am a visual learner. Okay. They visual learners get in careers they get their careers in video art and architecture. They have great spatial recognition and are able to visualize information on a large scale as well as on a small scale. They can visualize things very easily. Sixth on the list is logical. Logical learners are sometimes called mathematical style learners. Math itself is about simplification and reasoning. When teaching, look to give logical learners the clearest explanation possible. These types of students enjoy working on problems and figuring out the answers to the problems. They prefer learner they prefer lessons that are very objective in nature. Provide them the information through bullet points, to do lists, and give students a chance to think strategically. Also, logical learners get very engaged with difficult problems. Most of the time, they find careers as mathematicians and detectives. These are your students that excel in math and enjoy a good mastery show. And the last learning style is auditory. Auditory learners are sometimes called oral learners or even musical learners. These types of students make the most of jingle, sound, rhyme, jingles, and music. Now, anyone who loves music understands that music at its best creates an emotional connection. The emotional connection to sound and music leads to better comprehension. Auditory learners often find work as sound engineers, musicians, and even songwriters. This is the last learning style on this list, but definitely not the least. Not the least, each learning style is important to each individual. So, for a moment, I thought whether I got logged out of the meeting. Okay, I'm still in, thankfully. So to sum it up, in a nutshell, I can tell that in the video we saw that there are 7 different types of learning or 7 different types of learners. If the learning style is intrapersonal, then what are the careers or how do they learn? Interpersonal, logical, mathematical, linguistic, musical, bodily kinesthetic, visual spatial, And recently, one more learning style was added here, that was naturalistic. You must have observed these are the children who get engaged more with the nature. So you will find they will come up. These are the children who will come up if they find a lizard or a bee or something in the classroom. They will catch it and they'll come running to you and show. They will be very enthusiastic to learn and show you. These are also the ones who will take you through the school garden and show you, ma'am, see this plant has flowered or something like that. So that is the eighth or next naturalistic learner. Now, once we understand how the children learn, we should also have an understanding of how are we as teachers, or what is my teaching style. Everybody has a learning style and everybody has a teaching style. Of course, let me add one more point here. Like we cannot compartmentalize the learners into watertight compartments. There is many a times there is a combination of two or three learning styles. So you as a learner also are a combination of two, three styles. Likewise, your children are also a combination of two, three learning styles. There are many learning style quizzes or available on the net. You can take those and administer it to your children and identify your children. What is the predominant learning style in that particular class? You will observe that different classes have different children with sound is not heard. Am I audible? Okay. Uh, so different. Yes, thank you. I am audible. Maybe the one who's not able to hear, please check your net connection. So when what I was saying is the classroom is a combination of different learning styles. So once you are able to analyze or figure out how many children how many children from your class belong to a particular learning style, then it will help you in planning your lessons, planning your projects and activities. And then see now also in CBSE or in the current assessment system, it talks about multiple assessments. So multiple assessments, what are multiple assessments means? You have to give the children different kind of assessments. One out of them is pen and paper test, which caters to only one of these learning styles. But if you know different learners, then you will be able to plan your assignments which will suit all the other kind of learners as well. That is why we have seen recently art integrated learning projects, right? So art integrated means that will include visual, musical also. Then sports integrated learning projects. So that will help the bodily kinesthetic learners more establish a strong connection with the teacher. So we have to create lesson plans in such a way that we will be able to teach the content taking into account most of these learners. Of course, I understand all the concepts cannot be taught taking into all the time. We can't incorporate all the learning styles, but in different lessons we can take different learning styles. So all the children feel that they are connected to the class or the teacher. Now, next is once we understand what our learners are, we should understand where do we stand or what is my style of learning, my style of teaching. So let us participate in an interactive quiz. I would like to give you an interactive quiz. There are 12 questions in the quiz, and there are that will help you in learning about your classroom management style. The steps are simple. Read each statement carefully, write your response on a sheet of paper, and respond to each statement based on either actual or imagined classroom experience. I understand some of the experience, you may not have had some of the experiences, but just hypothetically presume that you are in that classroom situation and how would you react to it. I am hoping that all of you are sitting with a pen and paper, right? If not, I'll give you just 30 seconds so you can get a pen and paper and I would also like to administer this interactively using a online platform. Before that, just see how are we going to score it. A question will come in front of your screen. If you strongly agree with the situation, you have to give it the score as 1. Disagree, then give it the score of 2. Neutral, you feel okay, this is the kind of response, I am neutral towards this. And then if it is, if you agree with it, give it a score of 4. And if you strongly agree, give it a score of 5. Right? I guess all of you must have got a pen and paper. So just write down 1 to 12, and in front of that you will write the scores 1 to 5, right? And leave a little space at the bottom of the page or on the side of the page, because you will have to add certain scores, right? Some of you, those who have joined through laptop, will be able to attempt this quiz online. Those who can, please do. Those who cannot, this arrangement will always work. Let us see how many of us are able to join this link. Now on your screen, you must be seeing know your classroom management style and quiz. So use any device, and in the Google browser, in the Google this thing, search joinmyquiz.com. Enter joinmyquiz.com. After joining, enter the game code. Enter the game code 395451. I can see 2 participants have joined, Rathilaja, Anjali. I can see. I'll give a couple of minutes more. 11 participants have joined. Let us give them 1 or 2 minutes more. 12, Preeti, Manisha Rani. Mary Avila, Mamata, Priyanka, Shamli, how to join the quiz. In Google, type joinmyquiz.com and then click on that. Type joinmyquiz.com and enter that. Then you will come to a screen, and that will ask you to write your name. Then click on that start and then enter the game code. Pratibha, you can enter any name. So somebody, I find somebody has entered a nice name, Lemon. All right. Kavita, just 1 more minute I'll give. Rachana, no, it is, if you're not having another device, I will be presenting the screen on the, you can open it in the new tab, or I will be presenting the screen and you all can attempt it using that as well. So Kavita, Harpreet Kaur, Johnny, Okay, I guess I will stop at 40. Means I will start at 40. Rashmi, Papaya. All right. In the meantime, those who can't join can come and be ready with a pen and paper. Sunita, Lilliput, okay. I will start. Others can see the questions on the screen and write in their notebook. If a student is disruptive during class, I assign him or her to detention without further discussion. So just write serial number 1 and give it a score. 1 if you strongly agree, 2 if you disagree, 3 neutral, 4 agree, 5 strongly agree. That agree is not seen, but that is strongly agree. Okay, 32 participants have attempted, 33, 35, 42 have joined. You all can see the number of participants here. Okay, 39, 7 seconds remaining, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, time's up. So those who are, okay, those who couldn't attempt it, I guess 2 of you couldn't attempt it. Simultaneously, you can write it on a paper. So serial number 1 and whatever is your choice for this question. Let us move on to the next question. In 3, 2, 1 seconds, the question is on your screen. I don't want to impose any rules on my students. Do I strongly disagree? Disagree. Am I neutral? Do I agree or do I strongly agree? Write it on a paper. No need to write in the chat box. Because at the end of the quiz, you will have to add the scores and then come to a conclusion yourself. It is a self-exploratory quiz. All right. 43 have joined now. And now last 10 seconds remaining. Time is up. 2 of you, I guess, are not able to attempt it. So, okay. Pauline, please write on your paper. Then let us move on to the next question. The next question will come on your screen in now. The classroom must be quiet in order for students to learn. What's your opinion? Yes, Pauline, please write on a paper as well. Ranjana, please write on a paper as well. Last 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. Next question. Fourth one. 3, 2, 1 and go. I'm concerned about both what my students learn and how they learn. This is, everybody has a strong opinion about this. The number is going up fast. 36, 37, 38, oh, 40. Most of you are, most of you strongly agree. Okay, 41, 42, 41. I'm concerned about both what my students learn and how they learn. Time's up. Next question. The fourth question, the fifth question is will come on your screen right now. If a student turns in a late homework assignment, it is not my problem. What do you say? Strongly disagree? Disagree, neutral, or agree and strongly agree? Varsha ma'am, please write on a paper. Okay, four, three, two, one, and go. Okay, time's up. Next question, the sixth question. Answer honestly because I'm not going to ask you, but it is a self exploratory kind of a quiz. I don't want to reprimand a student. Reprimand means punish a student because it might hurt his or her feelings. How many of you think like this? There is no right or wrong answer, so you can answer it freely. It is just to analyze your teaching style. Okay, next one will be on your screen in 0 seconds. Now, class preparation isn't worth the effort. Very strong opinions. Strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. I guess I should have given here this 10-15 seconds only. Reena ma'am, Varsha ma'am, please write on a paper as well. You can write in the chat box, but please write on a paper as well. Okay, last 30 seconds. Three, two, one, and time's up. Next question on your screen, question number 8. I always try to explain the reasons behind my rules and decisions. Some teachers give certain rules and decisions in the class. Give certain rules. After I enter the class, this is not supposed to be done. Before I leave the class, this is supposed to be done. And those kind of rules, every teacher has his or her own rules and decision. No, no. Now the project submission, I will extend the deadline or I will not extend the deadline. And then if you at all you change your decision, you try to give an explanation to the children. Reena ma'am, neutral. 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 9. 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 more to go. 3, 2, 1, and 0. I will not accept excuses from a student who is tardy. Tardy means slow in moving and acting and sluggish. Some children we find now whenever you tell, child get up, they are very slowly they'll get up. Submit your notebook very slowly, reluctantly they'll take the notebook. They'll walk and then they'll come to you. So that is tardy. So I will not accept any excuses from that a student who's of that time. How do you agree? Okay, time's up. Next one. The emotional well-being of my students is more important than classroom control. If the children are making noise, then and when I am scolding them or when I am punishing them, giving them a reprimand, what is more important? Emotional well-being of my students is more important than the classroom control. Interesting. Almost. It's going almost. 4 and 5 agree, strongly agree. All right, time's up for this one too. And now the last but one question. Question number 11 in on your screen now. My students understand that they can interrupt my lecture if they have a relevant question. How many of you strongly agree? Agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Madhumala ma'am, if you are not able to solve, na, you can just write down on the paper. No issues. Some of you, sometimes what happens is if the bandwidth is not sufficient, then students or teachers are not able to attempt the quiz. So this time I kept it both the ways. Those who have the bandwidth can solve it online. Those who don't have can do it on the paper. And the last question on your screen in 3, 2, 1, and 0 seconds. If a student requests a hall pass, I always honor the request. Now, what is a hall pass? Sometimes children want to go out of the class. So they have that class out pass or hall pass it is called. Or just if to put it in simple words, I can say want a permission to go out of the class. May I go to washroom? May I go for drinking water? Or for any reason, going out of the class. I always honor the request. All right, time's up and the quiz has ended, right? So let us come back. I hope you all have also kept a score on the paper. You attempted this and this is there. Quickly for half a, like these were the statements and you all must have kept a score on the paper, I guess. So just add 1, 3 and 9. Add Add your responses to the statements 1, 3 and 9, 4, 8 and 11, 6, 10 and 12, and 2, 5 and 7. Right, I'll give 2 more minutes. Somebody is saying I'm not audible. Okay, I hope all of you must have added. Now, which is the highest score that you find out or you keep it to yourself? That is the if whichever there are 4 styles: authoritarian style, authoritative style, democratic style, and the detached style. So these question numbers are related to those styles. So if your score, the addition of these for 1, 3, and 9 is the highest, then you have a predominant authoritarian style, right? If your score is highest of 4 plus 8 plus 11, if this addition is highest, then you have a predominant authoritative style. If the addition of 6, 10 and 12 is the highest, then you have a predominant democratic style. And if the addition of 2, 5 and 7 is the highest, then you are predominantly detached style. You have a predominant detached style of teaching. Now, what kind of styles are these that we will elaborate? Some of you must be having a nearly equal score in 2 of the styles. That is quite a possibility. So just keep it with you for the time being. And then when we move on and see the next, move on to the next slide, what is it means will become more clear to you. So again, let us watch a video. This video is on different classroom management styles. Right.
What is your preferred style to managing student behavior? Now, classroom management styles
Is the
are
audio
broken
audible?
down into 4
Is it
different
audible?
categories. The bottom categories represent teachers that exhibit little control over their students. The top categories represent teachers that exhibit high control. Also, management style categories on the left exhibit low involvement from teachers, while categories on the right exhibit high involvement. Authoritarian management, very controlling but not very involved with students. In authoritarian styles, you will notice a lecture-driven lesson. The teacher might simply read off a PowerPoint or simply talk about the content itself. The students sit in the classroom and remain quiet. The authoritarian style teacher does not want to take any questions from the students. In this classroom rules are strictly enforced. The teacher is very firm and unflexible when it comes to the rules. Authoritarian teachers like to have their students sit in assigned seats for the entirety of the year. These teachers are very organized and like to see their students in one place.
So authoritarian is like we must have seen when we were children or something, or you must have come across a teacher who is authoritarian. They don't allow the children to move even a little bit. They ask the students to sit erect, fold your hands, and your eyes on me, and they don't allow the children to look even here or there. So that style, they are very strict in their classroom management, and they have assigned seats. You all will go, children will go and sit in their assigned seats only. Nobody is allowed to talk. So this kind of teaching style or classroom management style is called as authoritarian style. Let us see the, so this is as we have seen in the diagram, this is the high control and low involvement style. This is a matrix. So low involvement and high involvement, low control and high control. So this is a intersection. This is at the intersection of high control and low involvement. So this is a style, authoritarian is a style which has high control and low involvement. Let us move on to the next.
Next up, the authoritative teacher. Teachers with high control and highly involved in their students. The authoritative teacher enforces their rules, but also hears the students out. These teachers are both firm but also fair to their students. The authoritative style looks to give students their own voice. Classroom discussions are encouraged. This teacher cares a great deal about their students. The teacher wants to see their students succeed, and you often see a lot of positive feedback from the teacher. These teachers